Yes, it rained. My last mile coming back, it just dropped, pouring down rain. But you still got to do your 5 miles. 5 miles, 20-pound vest. We're up to like 330 push-ups now. You got to keep doing it, man. No choice. It's called the rope method. I call it the rope. Relentless, obsession, persistence, every day. You got to keep doing it. You really got no options out here. There's no options. We don't live in a world where there's options. Anyway, today's video is going to be about 3 different type of people. It's going to be mentalities, right? You got the herd mentality, you have the pack mentality, and you have the sigma mentality. So let's go through them real quick. Most people in a herd mentality, H-E-R-D. We're talking about herds, we're talking about sheep. And I'm sure you heard of sheep more than enough times in a certain book that talks about sheep and shepherds and people following and things like that. Yeah, that's that herd mentality. You can be like the gazelles in the wilderness. It's a herd mentality. What is the herd mentality? I just follow what other people are doing. It's like that whole joke about whenever you see people running and you run with them, you don't care why they're running, you just know you're running and you run with them. That's the herd mentality. Now, depending on whatever people you're around, that might not be a good thing. Shit. Dry. So, that's the herd mentality. Majority of people are in a herd mentality. Majority of Americans are in a herd mentality. They're just doing what other people are doing. That's why they give you something to do. When I say they, the structures, the people who run this whole structure of the United States gives you something to do. What do they tell you to do? You go to school, all right? Graduate school, you may go to college, you find somebody nice, they'll buy a house, or get jobs, and what they'll do, and you live happily ever after, raise kids, retire, and die, right? That's what the most of the herd is going to do. That's all they know. That's all they want to do. That's the easiest path, the path of least resistance. Since you're on the path of least resistance, most people are going to follow that path. But there are people who are not going to follow that path. So what do you do with them? That moves on to the pack mentality. The pack. When you think of a pack, you think of wolves. You think of a pride when you talk about lions. All right? You talk about ants. You say ants are more like a herd, more like a colony. It's like a herd. So you have the pack. You have people who are driven. You have a group of people who are driven to do more, to go after the herd, right? That is a whole group of people too. The majority of them, they're not chasing after people and hurting people. Like you may hear gangs, right? There's gangs. That's like a pack. They're out causing problems. But there are other people who are part of different groups. Like you may have an investment groups and things like that. Those are also a pack. They're out trying to do something, change things. You might have engineers or people part of scientists designing things. You got the whole Elon Musk thing with the spacecraft coming down and getting landed and all this other shit. Those are also packs, right? Because they're doing something. They're actively doing something. They're actively going. They're actively pursuing. They're actively doing something. They're just not roaming around, just following each other and just like whatever happens, happens. That people say it is what it is. You know that type of, they're not those type of people. All right? I could be part of that group. I've been part of that group when I was in the military. I was part of that group when I was in law enforcement. Part of that pack mentality, right? We're out trying to change things and make things better. However, there's another group. Very small group. And that's my group. Specifically my group. And I say 6. Now you copy. You copy, you clear, Cap. What you got? Last week you're talking about sigmas. Sigma males. The lone wolf. And they say there's no such thing as a lone wolf. The hell there is. You can call it what you want. There are lone wolves. There are wolves who are joined packs. Right? Long as that pack is functioning how they want to function, and I'm cool with this pack, and we're good here, right? But once that pack, that wolf is no longer functioning with that pack for whatever reason, they want to go across the river, you don't want to go across the river. They want to go up the hill, you want to go left. Then that lone wolf will leave that pack. It's just that simple. Can that lone wolf survive? Yeah, that lone wolf is going to survive because it's big and strong enough, or it can do what it needs to do to kill whatever it needs to kill to eat it, and it will survive. So this whole concept of, well, you can't have a lone wolf because they can't hunt by themselves and all this other shit, don't believe the hype. Don't believe that. Lone wolves will do what they got to do to get things done. And everybody's not a sigma. Everybody's not that lone wolf. Okay? Everybody's not an alpha. So we do the whole sigma thing. Sigma, what I like to say, or what I've read, is that a sigma is an alpha with none of the alpha's bad traits. The alpha has these traits where I got to be seen. I'm the big one. I'm here. Look at me. Blah, blah, blah. I'm the leader. Sigmas don't function that way. The way sigmas function is, more or less, they can be leaders when they have to be. When they're put in positions, they can be excellent leaders. However, once that mission is accomplished and that thing is done, they fall back and let whoever else come in front. They're not worried about, I got to get the prestige. I got to be the one. Look at me. Look at me. We're good. We're good. Sit back and we're good. We function as leaders when we have to, when we want to. A lot of times we can just fall back and let things happen in front of us. All right? So those are the 3 personality types. And I wouldn't say personality types per se. We have the herd. We're just going to follow, get married, have kids, live happily ever after. Then you have the pack. You're going to be a little bit more aggressive. You're going to be out here doing things, searching things. Scientists, engineers, always experimenting, trying to figure things out. They're going to be actively trying to do something more than just live as a herd. And then you have the sigmas, who are just doing their own thing. We can fit into a herd, we can fit into a pack, but when we decide, we just go on our own. It's good to know what type of person you are and how you function, right? A lot of people think they're one thing and they're really not. Everybody wants to be the alpha. I'm in charge. I'm going to be in charge. I'm not that. It's not my personality. I'm out here in the woods, walking in the rain. Clearly walking in the rain, doing the push-ups with the 20-pound vest on. Not many alphas are going to do that. Because this is just by yourself. You're just out here. Nobody's really seeing anything. If I didn't make these videos, you wouldn't even know I was out here. Right? Alphas has to be seen. They have to be seen. They have to be seen. They have to be seen. I'm doing. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. That's not how we function as sigmas. That's just not how we do things. We're very much misunderstood. We're misunderstood by 94% of the population. That's why I always say 6. How you copy? You copy clear, Cap. What you got? We're misunderstood. Like, why don't you want to do this? Why don't you want to do that? And we're just, a lot of people aren't able to grasp that concept of what a sigma does and how they function. But once you do, you realize they're some of the best people you ever want to be with. I say all that to say I need to dry off, go get some rice, and tuna, and 6. I'm out.